What up, what up? It's your boy from Boston here. Yo, so check this out. If you don't know about the Karen Read case, I just have to tell you just to look up Karen Read, and I will warn you, it is a lot of information to take in. So, if you're up for it, if you have time, just Google Karen Read, R-E-A-D, and oh my god. Basically, this happened in the neighborhood I grew up in. Like, the immediate neighborhood is where, like, not, it's like in a, like, okay, so it's technically they're in a different town, but, like, I knew people related to this one politically powerful family, and I don't want to mention their names, but, like, this one guy, and I think is the oldest son in that family, was having a party at his house during a snowstorm, which seemed kind of weird. Karen Read was dropping off her boyfriend, Officer John O'Keefe, from the Boston Police Department. He was a Boston cop, just like this other guy whose house he was at. They say he never came in the house. She says she dropped him off there, but she didn't remember what happened, and eventually they came back the next morning. She came back with a couple friends, one of whom had been there, and they found his body. And supposedly, as she was doing CPR, she yelled to one of the friends, "Google hypothermia! Like, how long does it take to die in the cold?" And that was why at 2:27 in the morning, she Googled "Hoss long to die in cold." Make of that what you will. Hoss is how, yeah. So, basically, she'd already done that. Her story was a total lie. She was framing this innocent woman because she didn't want her sister and brother-in-law, their kids, whatever, to get in trouble or something. Like, I don't know, but because of the political connections, like, you know, they immediately had the state troopers take over, and the state trooper who led the investigation happened to be, like, related, like closely connected to the family, specifically of the dumbass punk kid who they think happened to have thrown the first punch, who was related to this family on the other side that I didn't know. But, this kid's name is the same as, his first name is the same name as my name, if you know my name. So, I'm not going to mention any names, including mine, but if you know, you know. Anyway, there's just so much apparent effort going into protecting this one kid. Like, they all went out of the way to, like, if they ever mentioned him during testimony, they just, like, froze up. Like, oh, we're not supposed to mention him. Like, when you know something is being hidden, and, like, you know what it is, but, like, you just don't know why they're doing it. Like, it's, that is when it gets super sketchy. Because people will come up with whatever theories they want. Like, I've noticed, like, if somebody wants something to be true, they will make up an idea in their heads of, this is how you planned it to happen, and everything happened the way you planned it to because nobody has free will, and you're this puppet master who can manipulate everybody. Like, it's very strange that how far people will go to wrongly accuse other people and think that that's like a normal thing to do just because you're mad at someone or something. Like, I don't know. The thing is, I take accusations very seriously. I take myself very seriously. I don't go around accusing other people of things. I certainly don't accuse people of crimes. I've been accused of things, and, you know, it's just not something that anybody should just be doing casually, I don't think. Like, I mean, that is some serious stuff. Like, you just don't want to go down that road. Now, I also thought this was interesting because the journalist who's writing about this, Turtle Boy, Google him. His name's Aidan Carney, if you don't know of him. He actually went to jail over this, so yeah, he's pretty legit. Yeah, it's just there's so many layers to this case, and a lot of people involved. Like, they had, I think, about 80 witnesses for the prosecution. Like, it was unreal how many people they had coming in, like, to just basically tell the same lie that they were coached. And, occasionally someone would get a detail wrong, or they'll be like, oh, I mentioned that one kid's name that I can't say. Yeah, there's just so much going wrong there. And I almost didn't even know what to think about Karen herself. I knew that John O'Keefe was a single uncle, basically, like a single father of his niece and nephew he adopted, because his sister and then her husband 2 months later died. It was really weird. Like, the kids were, like, real little, and he, like, basically raised them by himself, mostly, I guess. And Karen Reed comes along, and she doesn't have kids of her own. She basically acts as the mother to these kids, and you really find out more about the trial and, like, how much she was doing, and I found myself much more sympathetic to her than I ever thought I would be. Not that I didn't always think she was innocent, but, like, I found myself, like, legitimately happy for her. Like, this woman, by the way, like, she was a portfolio manager for, I think, Fidelity. Like, made, like, so much money managing other people's money. People trusted her with their money. She was clearly not somebody who, was a screw up like some of these people. Like, some of these people have, like, a lot of stuff in their past is coming out. But she also was an adjunct professor at Bentley University, where she also went for her, I think, her master's and her undergrad. I don't know. She has Crohn's disease and MS. I don't know anyone to have both those diseases. That must be horrible, because they're both horrible on their own. And she has had a lot of surgeries, a lot of physical problems, and, like, it has been, I can't imagine how hard it's been for her. And I am just going to be so happy when she is finally found not guilty, when Judge Beverly Canone announces the verdict. She said today was the last day of evidence. And they call her Auntie Bev. Like, apparently the family, like, that she's so closely connected to the family, they call her their aunt, apparently. Like, I don't know. But she is, in spite of being, like, a little too biased to be the judge, she still knew this was, like, that the prosecution didn't have a case. Like, not only that, but Lally, the prosecutor, he is extremely boring, and, he could not keep the witnesses, like the jury, he could not keep them engaged with, like, asking the same questions to each witness over and over again, to establish the facts, but, things that were already established at that point that they don't need to reiterate, because they aren't even, like, relevant to what actually happened. It's just to show their credibility. I mean, but I don't know. It showed me a lot about the justice system that I didn't actually really know much about, having never been to court myself, thank God. I've been called for jury duty. That's the only time I've ever actually been back to my hometown since I moved out of there. Oh, man, and that's actually pretty bad, because I still have family there, but, it's just, I'm learning a lot, and it's really getting me on a different direction than I ever thought I'd ever be going on with this thing that I got going here. So I'm just looking forward to wherever this takes me, and I just hope you'll follow me and join me on whatever I end up doing. So, yay! Free Karen Reed, but she's already gonna be free. Yeah, and free Turtle Boy, and, justice for John O'Keefe, and all that stuff that everyone's saying,